Not going to reach 100 like her mother, Queen Elizabeth acknowledged, according to biographer. According to royal writer Robert Hardman, the late Queen deliberately chose how she would spend her last year. In his new book on King Charles, royal biographer Robert Hardman claims that Queen Elizabeth knew the clock was running in her final year. In the 70th year of her historic reign, Queen Elizabeth passed away on September 8, 2022, at the age of 96. Hardman provides fresh insight into the circumstances surrounding her demise in The Making of a King, King Charles IV, and the Modern Monarchy, which will be released on January 18. Hardman notes that the Queen was suffering from multiple conditions in her final year, which may have contributed to her ambiguous cause of death in an excerpt from his book, published in the Daily Mail on Saturday. The Queen was earlier revealed by biographer Giles Brandreth to have myeloma, a malignancy of the bone marrow. The palace declined to comment. According to a friend Hardman mentions in The Making of the King, she had been determined to make the most of that year, having realized that the medical prognosis meant she was not going to emulate her mother and reach 100. The Queen Mother died at age 101 in 2002. She made sure to spend the summer with all of her family, so that the younger ones in particular would always have fond memories of her. Given the Queen's elderly age, the idea of a regency, which would enable Charles to take her place in the event that she was declared mentally or physically incapable, had been carefully considered. It was inevitable that the Queen would age to the same degree as her mother, the Queen Mother, who lived until the age of 100. A regency appeared all but certain. According to the passage, that would have been very difficult, adds a top former assistant. Charles, meanwhile, was unwilling to go into great detail about the issue. If you showed up with all the paperwork, he would ask, "Have you experienced it all?" In the Daily Mail snippet, an aide asks, "Are you happy with this?" And that concludes the conversation. He was unwilling to focus on the specifics. I believe he believed that you are tempting fate if you reach out for something. According to Hardman, Queen Elizabeth also discussed with her family where she would spend her last days. He writes, right up until the very end, she was adorably aware of causing needless inconvenience to others. Hardman brings up Princess Anne's words from the BBC One documentary Charles IV, the coronation year, when discussing those conversations. In the special, which debuted on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, in the United Kingdom, the Princess Royal stated, there was a moment when she felt that it would be more difficult if she died at Balmoral. We may have made an effort to convince her that she shouldn't be included in the decision-making process. Princess Anne remarked, I hope that in the end she felt that was the right thing. At the time of the late Queen's passing, sources told POPL that since Balmoral held such sentimental value for her and her family, it was natural that she spend her final moments there. Prince William and Kate Middleton unveiled a never-before-seen photo of the grandmother at her cherished home in the Scottish Highlands on April 20, 2023, which would have been her 97th birthday. Kate took the picture, which featured the Queen with a few of her great-grandchildren and grandkids. Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth would have turned 97 years old today, the caption stated. This photograph, showing her with some of her grandchildren and great-grandchildren, was taken at Balmoral last summer. Are you a die-hard POPL Royals fan? Get the newest information about Kate Middleton, Meghan Markle, and other royals by subscribing to our free newsletter. In the picture, the Queen was seated on a couch with the upcoming royals, Prince George, who was 10, Princess Charlotte, who was 8, and Prince Louis, who was 5. Zara and Mike Tyndall's 3 children, Lucas, 2, Lena, 5, and 9, as well as Peter Philip's daughters, Savannah, 13, and Isla, 11, grinned for the picture. Behind their younger cousins were the Queen's 2 youngest grandchildren, Lady Louise Windsor, 20, and James, Earl of Wessex, 16, who are the offspring of Prince Edward and Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh.